Hello, my name is Sana and welcome to my first video about the craft system in Unity with the new UI system. Today we're gonna create this craft system. It's pretty complex, it's not so easy, so maybe you have to watch the video twice or maybe a third time. So I'm gonna start and show you how it works firstly. So we are working with the inventory system. I guess you have to watch. So when you do not know how this inventory system works, please watch my inventory tutorial. I guess you have to watch the first three parts. I don't know how far you have to be that you can drag an item. So just watch them because this is the ground of the craft system, otherwise it won't work. So we got some items in here, and this should be a wood plank. I know this doesn't look very good, but I had no other image. So, and this is iron, and this is a stone. This wood plank, when we drag this in here, uh, can be created to a stick. So then I can drag and drop it out, and now we got a wood stick. And now this is the nicer part, I guess. Now we got this iron and this stone here, and now we can click on this left and right thing, and we can choose two different items which we can create out of this. So we can create X out of a stone and out of a iron, so that we get a iron X or a stone X. And yeah, I'm gonna show you both. When I drag this out, the stick and this stone getting deleted, and you got an stone X. So this is the stone X, and I'm gonna show you this with the iron as well. Now we need a stick, so we create our stick with the wood plank. And now when I drag this both in, and now I want to take this iron axe, the iron and the stick is getting deleted. So yeah, and this is getting updated. At the moment it doesn't support like you got more than 3 things in it, because at the moment we're working with 3, the value is here 3. And this is a problem. This is maybe a future for another tutorial, but first we are working with everything is 1, so we got no item value, which is yeah, it is not in the code, so we're only testing if there's the item with the ID. So we do not work with this item value. But anyway, let's start. Firstly, I have to delete this craft system. Yeah, for everyone who comes from the part 7 of the inventory system, you can delete everything except the item class, the item database, the slot script of the inventory itself, first person script. I'm gonna attach this first person script because I had to delete some things as well. Yeah, and we're gonna create 4 classes. I'm gonna delete them here too. Yeah. Delete, and now let's start from scratch. So we need a box or panel again, and I created a bigger one than before. Oops. And we need a result script, sorry, I forgot that. It wasn't in the... Oh, I deleted it as well, so there's no error at the moment, so there shouldn't be. Why is this user searching for? It's okay. Okay, we created our box, and in this box we need slots. So I had 9 slots, and they weren't created by the craft system. With the panel, just take this on the top, otherwise we cannot see the direct item. And let's create. Let's call this firstly craft system, and yeah, and tag this as a craft system. Now we're gonna create our slots, and this is through the image and another image for the icon, for the item icon as the child, and call this slot. It's pretty worth what name it is, but just that you know what it is. And let's create the size of 75 and 75, and this should be 60/60. And the slot image or the sprite should be a bit better. Yeah. What I forgot, I'm gonna attach this wood plank or wood sticks, but they are not really nice, so that you can test this on your own script. Simply, so this is looking a bit better, I guess. And I should do a smaller, and the image under that should be a 50/50, I guess. It's a bit better. And now you can disable this script from this image and call this icon. So okay, now we got our slot, and now we can duplicate this sometimes. 3 on a row. Oh fuck. So this now. I duplicate this row. Way much easier now. Oops. So and so. So no, maybe it's not perfectly, but okay. Now we need a results slot where our result from the list comes from, or where our final item is in. So we have to create a result slot. Actually, it's nothing. There's no different. There's a normal slot like this as well, and call this result script so that you know that is a different slot. Result slot. So, and tag this maybe as finished, because I work with finish as tag in this script later. So okay, yeah, I forgot something. Right? We also need a text, which is for the list when you can change what item you want. So we create text with this on the right side, and let's say this should be a 48 or something like that. Normal, not bold, and now we have to resize this with this text. That is so no, and take this around here and duplicate this again, and just take it on another side and the other one. So that's okay. Okay. Call this right and left. Yeah, I call it left, and I call this right. Yeah, okay. Actually, I'm missing something. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Shit. That's okay. From where does this error come? I guess I know, but this shouldn't be there. Result script. So, I know from where. Firstly, I have to copy this as well, otherwise I do not have a copy from this. Don't wonder I'm on another yeah, no, I got everything. Okay, nice. So we need how do I start up? What is the best thing? So firstly we need to know also like I guess what was it, yeah, in the character system when we wanted to gear something, we had to know which slot is this is, so like an index. So we have to no, I forgot something. Yeah. Firstly, we need a class which is called a blueprint, something like that. So we have something, we have to define an item. So we do not, we wanna know from what item we, so like we got a wood plank, and this wood plank can create it to yeah, wood stick as example. So we have to create something like a class for this, and now right click this and create a class which is called blueprint. It's something like this item class, not only for a blueprint. And okay, yes, so all this one. I do not know why this is not loading my blueprint. So there, okay. So in this blueprint, this shouldn't be a mono behavior because it's only a class, and we're gonna say system.serializable so that we can see this later in our inspector. So what is important for a blueprint? We need ingredients and the final item which we want, or which we're going to create out of it. So we say public, firstly we have to attach a library using system.collections.generics, and public list of integers, because I want to work with the item IDs, not with the whole item. Ingredients, I call this ingredients, a new list of integer. So now we got this, and we need the final item which we want to have out of this item. No, call this final item. So okay, so now we need a constructor. Wait, so this should be public blueprint, and now we will need some variables in this part. This is a list which we need, and with the ingredients and the item, so the final item, and then we say this ingredients, this dot ingredients is equals to ingredients, and final item is equals to item. Yeah, that's it. That's how this works. It's pretty easy. So save this, and now we create a blueprint database like the item database which we create in our inventory system. Blueprint, how did I call this exactly? Database. Oops, database. And I got this already created, an empty game object. I'm gonna delete this firstly here. So, and now let's open the database, and now we're gonna create our database. So we need using system.collections, using system.collection.generics, and so we need a list which is public list blueprints. So that is our list of blueprints which we're gonna create now. New list blueprints, and we need access to the database because we have to create the final item later. So let's do this, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So when we start, we have to say database is equals the game object dot find game object with tag, and now it's a tag, I guess item database was it, database dot get component, and now the database, the item database script. So now we want to work with our with our new items or new pictures which we created. Don't forget, how I said, I'm gonna upload this new items, this wood plank, this wood stick, and so on. Don't forget to click on them and change the texture type, otherwise you get an error. You cannot work with the texture in your UI system. This has to be a 2D or a sprite, so otherwise it won't work. So don't forget this when you take them in your resource folder. And yeah, for everyone else who's new, this is an icon. Yeah, how can I show this? An icon summary from someone who took this online. You can download this for free. You can use that for commercial and everything else. I'm gonna take this link below so that you have that too. Okay, let's go further. And now we have to define our items in our environment. So let's create this items.add new item, and then the name of the item. This name of the item is equals to the sprite name as well, so be careful with it. So now the ID, then the name. I won't do this now exactly. I don't write this now because I've done this in the inventory tutorial, so you can watch them. It's easier. It wouldn't make sense to duplicate this every time, or when I do this twice now. And I took 3 as the item value, otherwise it won't work with the drag and drop system because of this left click and consumable of the consumables. At the moment it's working with the left click, and when you have only one, the item getting deleted automatically. So when there's a right click available with the new UI system, it getting changed, and you can set this back to 1. But otherwise, when you set this on 1, how I said, it's getting deleted. So when it's getting fixed, I'm gonna do another video about the right clicking, and yeah, this should be fixed then, so that you do not consume when you drag. So at the moment you're consuming it when you drag. So that's not what we want, but we have to deal with it now. Then we have a wood plank, a wood stick, a stone, and we are working with these 2 sprites. The one is with the stone and the other with the iron. So do not wonder. The stone, the stick, the plank, and the irons are consumables, and don't forget the item value is 3, and the other 2 parts are weapons. I called them weapons now, with the item value of 1. Save this and go back to your blueprint. Now when you declarated your items, you have to create blueprints. So blueprints.add. And now we need new blueprints, a new blueprint with, close this here, with a list of the items. So we could say new list of integer, and now open this again, and new int, now this thing here, new int, and now we need this. So 11 stands for the wood plank, should be. This 11 is wood plank, and this wood plank will a wood stick when you create this, or when you take this in your I'm gonna call this in the craft system. So now it's database dot items 12. Save this. So the item database, it has the ID 12. So this item which we created here is getting so we get this out of this list and take this into our blueprint, and then we got our final item and what we need for our craft system. So we need the wood plank for our wood stick. So now we create some other blueprints which New blueprint. I'm gonna copy paste this. This is way much easier to copy paste this now. You've done this once and you won't write this now every time. So we want to create 12 and 13, and this should be then 14. So that is I guess the stone X, and 10 and 12. Yeah, this should be 15. And they are creating, go back to our item database, out of this wood stick and a stone, or iron, an X with a stone, or X with the iron, so a stone X. I know it's not perfect description, but okay. So, okay, that's the important thing. Now let's go further. The craft system has 9 slots, and these 9 slots has to be declarated, so more or less. So let's create a source. A C# script, and this should be called craft system. And in this craft system we have to the first thing what we have to do is we need a list which using system dot collections, so do not forget this in your library. We have a list with our wait, we also need a craft slot script, craft slot, like the inventory slot, otherwise it won't work. Now what I want to do, so yeah, save this craft system. Okay, we want a list of our craft slots, so the scripts, because we have to access this now when we start this craft system. Which I forgot. Yeah, save this. Okay. Oh, I said craft system. I wanted to say craft slot. Sorry. Slot. So, and in our craft slot, we want to attach a index. I guess was that craft slot, like index. Oh, was it that? Wait. Let me check this. No, we only want to have lists so that we can go through the slots, so that we can check which items are in this. So we do not need an index like this in the character system, because we do not want to say there's a restriction for this slot, so that we can only take in like something like a weapon only or something like that. Every slot can take every item, so we do not need a restriction or index for this slot. So we only need to have every craft slot code script, so that we can work with this later. So when we got this, we can say we need a for loop. For int I is equal 0, e is smaller, we know this is exactly 9 slots big, our craft system. And now we want to slots.add, and now we want to say transform.getChild, so we know how big this exactly is. So I.getComponent, and say this craft slot, and close this. Yeah, okay. Let me check this. And yeah, what we did not do at the moment, we need to create our blueprint database. So we create an empty game object with it now. I drag it a bit more up and call this blueprint database. Tag this as a blueprint database and attach the script database, blueprint database. So perfectly. And don't forget to set the project settings and script execution order. Now you have to know the item database. The item database access needs. No, not the item database, but the blueprint database needs some information from the item database. So the item database has to be created before the blueprint database. So we have to delete this too and say blueprint database, then the inventory, and then the slot script. And now when you see this, we apply, And now when you click on this here, we got 3 elements, or these are our blueprints, and you see there are the element which we need and the final item which we get then. So you see this is a wood stick. So it's pretty easy. Okay, let's go further. So what do we need as well? I guess we're gonna go further with the craft slot. I guess this is the best time now. So what do we need? So we need also drag and drop on the craft system. So, but anyways, this craft slot, there has to be an item in, public item, and yeah, this is the important thing. And later we need the craft system as well. So I'm gonna create this variables so that I do not forget this later. So inventory as well. Whoops, I'm sorry. No, swap the sides. And don't forget to declare them. Craft system game object dot find game object tag, and we call this as well craft system, or we tag this as craft system get component, and now get the craft system. And now inventory is equals to game object. Whoops, game object dot find game object inventory dot get component inventory. I'm sorry, maybe some things are weird, or I'm just jumping around the themes, and this could be something that could be hard for you maybe, because this is a complex system and it's not really easy. So yeah, it's getting harder now, or not now, but later, and I hope you can understand everything. So if the item type is equals to null, not equals to null, we're gonna set our image from the slot transform.getChild, and now this is index 0, or was index 0, get component the image. We forgot our using system.collections we need this later, I guess, and using system using Unity engine.ui, and we need using Unity engine and dot event systems. So when we got this, then we can get access to our image script, and dot enables. At the moment it is disabled, so set this to true when there's an item in, and when we set it to true, we want to set the sprite of the game object to it. So item icon should be right now. Okay. When this is this right? Yeah. We have else as well. Oh, let's call this else if. Else if. Oops. If this item type is equals to none, then we have to say that this. That's right, to none. Then we have to say that this transform, so that this image object has to be disabled again. So get component image and enable as false. So now every time when there's an item and we're gonna enable this, and when there's no item is in it, we're gonna disable this. So okay, let's go further. We're gonna need our unpointer down function, so don't forget to attach the interface for it, iPointer down handler, and I'm gonna copy paste this head from the function from another script which I have finished already. So now we got this, and we only want to click on it when we are dragging, so inventory dot dragging item. So don't forget to attach this inventory variable to it. So what do we want to do? Well, what do we need? We need two statements. we have to watch if there's already item in or if there's no item in it. So we're gonna say if item.item type equals to the equals to none, then we can only set the item to it. So we can say items equals the inventory dot the dragged item, and then we can say inventory dot close dragged item, and we can say croft. Do I need this now? No. Okay. And then we have to say later a function from the croft system. So I'm gonna write this down here so that I know that I have to add something later there. So croft system list with items. This is a function later, but that I know and do not forget. So don't wonder that I'm writing this there down. So and then we have an else if statement. When there's an item in, we have to create we have to change the dragged item. So like this in the character, what was it in the character system when you geared this item? So it's equals to the item.item type to none. So when it's not none, then we want to create a variable with item temp is equals to item. So we save this and we set this item is equals to inventory, the dragged item, and inventory dot show dragged item again, and this should be temp because this is a variable which we want to take out, or this item which we want to change, and -1 as this index, otherwise it won't work. And here has to be updated something else as well from the croft system with the list with item. So okay, when we got this, we can check if this working or if this works. So let's do this here. Yeah, I already added now here these stones. I'm gonna do this later and show you how it works. Okay, what is the problem? We cannot click on this. Wait, I pointer down handler. Okay, let's double check this, or let's check this. Inventory dragging item. Let's do a debug. Ah, I forgot. Yeah, that's always my problem. Don't forget to attach the scripts to the slots. Croft slot and drag and drop them all to them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I forgot one. I guess this was it. Let's double check if there's always good. Okay, perfectly. So now we could check. This should work now. And when we drag this and we're gonna change this, everything is working. So perfectly. Okay, but we cannot drag this out. So we have to create this. I'm gonna do this now faster because I did this in the inventory script as well. So we need the drag handler, iDrag handler. And now I'm gonna copy paste this as well from the head from a finished script, so that I do not need to write this down. Item.item type. So if this not equals none, then we want to create this this dragged item, but we only want to drag when we are not dragging, because otherwise we're gonna delete items, and that's not what we want. So inventory dot show dragged item, and then we want to show this item and -1 and save this, and item is equals, so then the item which we have now here, otherwise we duplicate our items, we have to set this to new item and save this. And now after this we have to call this croft system function later as well, list with item. So start this now. When we drag this in and drag this out, it's working. So okay, now we got this and we got a perfect result for our yeah, it's what we want exactly. Okay, yeah, now we have to work with our croft system. Now it's getting complicated. So how should I say it to you? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go in this craft system. So okay, we need 3 other variables which we have to work. Public list of integer with item IDs. This will be the ingredients later, but I'm gonna declare this here now, that you know that these are the ingredients. Yeah, it's okay. So then we need our blueprint database, because we have to check every blueprint which we have with our items in our crafts slots. So if there are the items from the blueprints in, then we want to show them here. So let's go back and blueprint database. Save this, and we need a list with the possible items which you can create out of our items which are in the crafts, or which are in the craft systems. So possible items, and is equal to new list and item. Save this, and now we're gonna have to get some from the blueprint database. Blueprint database is equal to game object dot find game object with tag. This was blueprint with blueprint database, I guess. Yes, and get component blueprint database. So we do not need this update function, you can delete this, and now we need to create our public void list with item. Now we're gonna create an algorithm which goes, so let's say when I'm gonna explain this best. When we're gonna create an algorithm which gives us the blueprints which are possible to create from the items which are in our inventory or in our craft system. So when we got, let's go in here. So you know we can create out this wood plank, wood stick. So let's say this is a wood stick now, not a wood plank. Then possibly we can create 2 items out of it, because it should be the wood stick, this is the stone, this is the iron. So we have to go through this, so we have to get these items from our slots, and every time when we drag and drop an item in it, so when we drag this in, we're gonna call this function, because every time when a new item gets into this craft system, it is possible that we can create more items out of this combination. So we have to call this function every time when we drag and drop something in, and we have to call this every time when we drag and drag something out of it. So it could be that we cannot create something out of a stone and an iron. So yeah. So now let's say we have to go through the whole blueprint database and check if there's something, is there something from the blueprints, or is there a blueprint where, let me think about it, is there a blueprint with these ingredients which are in the craft system? So when there's when this blueprint matches to these ingredients, then we want to save this item, the final item which we get later, into our list which we got in our craft system, in our possible items, so that we know this is a possible item which we can create out of it. So when there's possible, in our way here it is possible that we can create 2 of this, then we have to go through this blueprint database and check, is there a stone in? Yes, there's a stone in. Is there a stick in? Yes, there's a stick in. So we have to save this in our final or in our possible items. So then we go to the next blueprint and say, is there a stick in? Is there a stone in? Yes. Or is there iron in? So yes, there's iron and a stick in. So we're gonna save this iron X in our possible items list. So that is the algorithm. It sounds pretty easy, but it isn't. So let's start. The first thing what we need is a for loop which takes the item from our slots.count. So we know we got 9, but I write slots.count and I++. Oops. I++. Oh, I forgot I smaller slots.count. And then we want to do if slots from i.item type not equals null, then we want to add this item to our item ID. This is the item ID, so that is the list which I have. So the slots or the items which are in this craft system are ingredients. So we have to save this and say, so we have to know what items are in our slots. So item type dot none, and then we're gonna add this item id dot add and slots I dot item item ID. So we're working with the item ID, not with the whole item. It's easier to compare an integer and performance-wise it is better to compare an integer in comparison to an whole object. So we added this now, and yeah, let's check this. No, we have to add this to our craft system. Now we can call craft system because we declared this before, the craft system. Now the function called list with item, and whoops. And every time, how I said, when there's a new item in, we have to add this, and every time when we drag an item out of it. So save this, and now you're gonna see we got a problem because let's go to our craft system. Oh, I forgot to attach this craft system, so don't forget this. We gonna add this here in item ID. Now we got this in, and when I got this in, we got 2 times this iron, and this is our problem. We have to actually the problem is we have to clear the list every time when we add a new item, because or add or delete an item or drag an item out of this, because otherwise we have the old item still in this list. So then we can say we only have to say craft system in this time in this example item ID, so the item ID which we got dot clear, and then the list is cleared, and we need this later for our possible items as well. Oops, dot clear. So I'm gonna do this now before I forget this, but that you know what I mean, because otherwise it won't work. Yeah, save this, and now it should work. That when we drag and drop something in and drag something out, the list getting resetted and everything should be fine now. You see, everything is fine. Now I'm gonna drag this 10 out, and now it works. Okay, perfectly. Now we can work further. Now we need some for loops. So, how I said, we need to go through our blueprint database. So we need to create a for loop, which is in k is equal 0. K is smaller than blueprint database dot blueprints dot count k++, and then we have to go through the whole database which with the blueprints, and now we need a variable with the boolean. No, we do not need this. We need an integer of matches. So the problem is we have to check if equals 0. So okay, now we have to check if everything, so that when the ingredients are in, we have to check if they are true. When you do not have this variable, otherwise, let's say we got 12 and 13, and we got this item with the ID 12 in our craft system, and we do not check this amount of true, we we get a problem, because when we take this 12 item in our craft system, then the database or the craft system shows the item 14 as a final item. We have to work with it, otherwise it won't work. I'm gonna show you after when it's finished that otherwise it won't work. If you go through this algorithm, you're gonna understand this. So now we need another for loop, because now we have to go through our ingredients, because when we got our first blueprint, now we have to go through the ingredients of this blueprint. So we have to say int z is equal to 0, z is smaller, the blueprints database dot blueprints now from k, because we want to get this blueprint from our database, dot ingredients dot count, so because we want to go through our whole ingredients, z plus plus. And now another for loop. Now we have to go through our whole items which are in our craft system, so this item ID. So for int d is equal to 0, d smaller than item ID dot count d plus plus. Okay, so now we have to say some if statements. If blueprint print database blueprint from k, do not forget this, dot ingredients from that is equals to item ID from d, from this for loop, when they are equals, then so when the ingredients ID and the item ID from this craft system, or from the item which are in the craft systems, are equals, then there has to be a match, so that the ingredient is the ingredient, so that we have this blueprint and we know that this ingredient is true, so that this item is in our craft system, so we know that we got a part of this blueprint. So then we have to say amount of true plus plus. So let's say when we got this blueprint here and we got a 12 in our inventory system, or in our craft system, sorry, then we need 2 as amount of true, otherwise it won't work. Otherwise the blueprint is not true, because there's missing some one ingredient. But when there's amount of true as equals 2, then we got a possible item which we can create from the database or from our blueprint. Otherwise it won't. So that is what I meant with this amount of true. When this amount of true is equals the item ID count, then we got our item. So we can create our item. So then we do not need, we can break out of it. We do not need a else. And now we have to ask here if amount of true equals the blueprint. Now blueprints from k, don't forget this, and ingredients. We need our ingredients dot count. So what I said now, when this amount of truth, so when everything what is on our craft system equals to this blueprint ingredients of the amount, when this is equals, then we can add this item from this blueprint to our possible items. So possible items is possible items dot add blueprint database dot blueprints from k got final item. Now we got our final item on our list, and we can save this. Save this now, and this is the algorithm. This took me around, I guess, 1 hour or something like that, because of this is pretty weird with these for loops, or this so many for loops, so that you just have to think through this every time, and you have to maybe create a picture about it, over it or something like that. It's not so easy when you only use that in your mind. I did this only in my mind, but it's not really easy. So when we got this, and we already created something like that, we got this, and now we see in this possible items list, we can create a wood stick out of it. So now we have to displace the item in it here. So in our results slot. So yeah, firstly I want to show you. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what happens when I do not have this amount of true. Oh wait, can I? No, I cannot anymore. No, I cannot. Sorry, I'm sorry. Otherwise, but anyways, it doesn't work when you do not have this. I hope you understood what I meant. Um, so you need the items from the blueprint ingredients. So when you got these ingredients, you need the items in the craft system. Otherwise, it won't work. So that's pretty easy. So okay, let's create our what was that? Wait, now we need our result script, and let's create this. Create result script. Result script. Yeah, okay, perfectly. So wait. So we need using Unity engine because there's a slot. There's an image which we have to change. Unity engine dot event systems, and we need access to our list from the craft system. So the possible items which we got, and we need an integer variable which declares so that we can go through the whole list. And we need, yes, we need the inventory, otherwise we cannot drag and drop this item. So now we start with it, and now we firstly have to get this. So I'm gonna copy paste this now. Oh, no, we're gonna do not. Game object, find game object with tag and inventory dot get component inventory. Save this, and then we got our craft system is equals game object dot find game object with tag and craft system dot get component craft system, which save this as well. And now we got on our update function the same thing which we got in our craft slot. I'm gonna copy paste this now. Yeah. Wait, no, I forgot. I'm sorry. So, now, yeah, that was dumb. When this craft system, when we got something from the craft system, so when we got a possible item from the craft system, then we want to show something. So, if craft system the possible items dot count not equals 0, then we want to show the item icon. So we say transform dot get child, like before with the craft slot, and then we want to get component the image script, and we have to enable this as well. Enable as true, and then we have to say transform get child again. We have to change the sprite get component image. Sprite is equals to the sprite of the craft system dot possible items list. Otherwise, we cannot take anything else. Temp is dot item icon. So otherwise, so the else transform get child. We have to disable this when it's empty. So when it's no, there's one statement which could be possible. Enable as false, which I forgot. Just take it how it is. Go back to your craft system and say this that should be, I guess, craft system. Or was it this? Yeah. Okay, we have to get access to our to our result script as well. So we're gonna create our result script, and how do I do this? Yeah. Wait. Change this on my final item. So we got our result script and result, and then we have to take this result. So, and you know that I tagged this before, so game object dot find game object with tag. Oops, not with text, not only with text. And this is called finish, and get component. I know maybe there's a better tag name, but I'm too lazy to do this now. So blueprint. No, this was the result script, and have this. And now just do this. The result from temp should be always 0 when we update this. Otherwise, we get a error every time when we go through our list later. Result script. So what we want to do? Yeah, we need a iPointer down handler because we want to take these items later out. So we have to create this function again, and I'm gonna copy paste this again from a new from a finished script. Inventory dot show dragged item. It's always the same like before how we did this. Possible items, and now this is from temp -1 and craft system. So I'm gonna firstly commentate this, and now when we drag this, we have to delete this from our list. So or we also have to delete the items which are which are in our craft system. So I'm gonna show you firstly now. This should work now when I save this. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to save this firstly. Yeah, we have this and craft slot. We got a fault in our craft slot. With the what was this? iPointer down handler. Let's check this. This shouldn't be big, I hope. iPointer down handler. I have this. I have this. What is the fault? I gonna commentate this firstly so that I can double check if this is the fault. I do not hope. It should be the fault. It seems to be the fault, but it shouldn't, because this is exactly that what I did before. So that sometimes there are some weird bugs from the new UI system. Because yeah, let's go into this craft slot. Craft slot. It could be also another thing which we have done for. I'm gonna copy paste this now, just to double check if there's something like fault, which I've done, but I'm checking at the moment and I do not find. Wait. It could be. No, I'm gonna copy paste this. What I've done before. Isn't it the same? Okay, I called this before items. I call this item now. I called this item now. Let's check this if this works. So you see this is pretty the same. I did use else if as well, and in this part as well on drag. Pretty weird bug, because this is working on my other system Object reference not set to an instant of an object. This could be something like, yeah, could be or could be not. Craft system, we need this craft system. This is tagged. Craft system is, wait. Craft system is tagged, and we got our script in it. Craft system, so where's the problem? So it seemed to be that there's an item or an object which is not declarated. So it's something like when we got our craft system and we know that is the script, but we did not take this script from object, but we did this here in this thing, and that is that let me think about it. But I do not know why there's a problem now. I guess this should be something about this here, but this shouldn't happen. Because when I do this, this is working, you see. This is because of this craft system. Let me take another look on it. Find game object with tag craft system dot get component. This should work. Now let's take this in the update function. This could be the problem. Yeah, I know, maybe. This in the update function, and now this should work. Because maybe I forgot something in our execution order. No, it doesn't. Yeah, now I'm wondering. One pointer down. Let's create maybe a I'm gonna create this and call this every time when we did this, craft this system, and just do this like that, and call this test and test. I guess dragging out is working. Okay, this is pretty weird. Execution order, project settings, execution order. This could be the false, but I'm not 100% sure. We want to create this craft system before the craft slot. Apply this. But to be honest, I don't think that this is a fault. No, that isn't. Okay. I guess I'm gonna do a break here. Because this tutorial is anyways 1 hour long now. Thank you for watching. You saw what we created now. I hope we're gonna fix this bug. I have to anyways. So you know how this thing is working now. So I'm gonna create another part for it soon. Yeah, if you like that, subscribe to me. And yeah, we see us after this annoying bug. Bye bye.